It is Sunday evening. You are doing the thing you do every Sunday evening, running the numbers in your head. Rent, bills, groceries, the thing you need to fix, the thing you have been putting off. And somewhere in the middle of all of it, the same thought shows up again. This is not going to be enough. Not because you are being dramatic, not because you are bad with money, just because the honest math does not work the way it is supposed to. You earn what feels like a reasonable salary, and somehow, at the end of every month, it is still not quite enough. Not for saving, not for getting ahead, just not enough. You cannot cut your way out of this. You have tried. The only real answer is to earn more. And this video is about how people who work 9 to 5, with a full schedule, real exhaustion, and no trust fund, actually do that in the hours that already exist in their week. But before we get to the how, there is one thing most people get wrong before they even start. You have already thought about starting something. A freelance skill you have, something you could sell, a service you could offer on evenings or weekends. And then you did not start. Not because you could not, because by the time you got home from work and dealt with everything else, the energy to start something new was simply not there. This is the actual barrier. Not money, not skill, not ideas. Exhaustion. And the people who burn out from side hustles, and 67% do, almost always make the same mistake. They treat the second income like a second full-time job. They overcommit immediately. They try to replace their salary in the first 3 months. They spend every spare hour on it and wonder why they are drowning. The people who build something that actually works do the opposite. They start with 5 hours a week, 1 hour on a weekday evening, a couple of hours on Saturday morning. A low-pressure experiment to find out if this particular thing works before going all in on anything. 5 hours a week, 30 days. One thing tested properly. That is the difference between burning out and building something. So what are the things that actually fit inside those 5 hours for someone with a full-time job and real exhaustion? There are 3, and the right one depends entirely on what you already have. You spend 3 weeks researching side hustle ideas. Dropshipping, crypto, print on demand, YouTube. You read about all of them. You start none of them. Then a colleague asks you to help with their small business social media for 1 month. $350. You do it. It takes about 6 hours total. And something shifts, not because of the $350, but because of what the $350 proved. That someone will pay you for something you already know how to do. That is the first type. Selling a skill you already use. Freelancing requires no startup cost, no inventory, no complicated setup. You have the skill. You are already using it at work. You offer it to someone else in your spare hours. Writing, design, marketing, coding, data analysis, social media, video editing. These are skills that pay $25 to $75 an hour on platforms like Upwork and Fiverr. One client at $400 a month is $4,800 a year, from a skill you already have, in hours you already had. You get 1 client, then 2. By month 4, you are earning $600 a month from something you were already doing at work. Your job has not changed, your salary has not changed, but the Sunday evening math has. The second type is selling something that does not require your time after you create it. Digital products. Templates, guides, a short course. Something you build once and sell repeatedly. The ceiling is different from freelancing because your income is not capped by the number of hours in your week. If you have knowledge someone else needs, about a process, a skill, a system, a niche, there is a market for it packaged as something they can download and use. The average Etsy seller earning from digital products makes around $1,800 a month once established. The startup time is real. But once it works without you showing up every time. The third type is using what you already have. Your car, a spare room. Skills that translate into services, tutoring, photography, pet care, cooking, repairs. These are the lowest barrier to start. A tutor charges $30 to $60 an hour. A photographer doing weekend events earns $300 to $800 per booking. A dog walker in most cities charges $20 to $30 per walk. Not glamorous, Not scalable to millions. But for someone who needs $300 to $500 extra a month with minimal setup, they work immediately. The mistake almost everyone makes is spending 3 months researching all the options instead of spending 3 months testing one. The research feels productive. The test actually tells you something. But there is a specific moment that stops almost everyone. And if you do not know it is coming, it will probably stop you too. You have picked your thing. You have a plan. You are going to start this week. Then Tuesday evening arrives. You got through a full day, commuted, cooked or ordered something, and now it is 7 p.m. and you have theoretically 2 hours before sleep. The laptop is right there. The plan is right there. And you do not open it. Not because you forgot, not because something came up, because the version of you that exists at 7 p.m. on a Tuesday does not want to work on something that has not paid anything yet. That version of you wants to sit down. And that version of you will always exist. The exhaustion does not disappear when the side income starts working. It was there before. It will be there after. The people who get through this period, the first few months when the income is small and the effort is real, almost always describe the same thing. They stopped waiting until they felt like it. They made the decision in advance. Not, I will work on my project when I have energy, but Tuesday and Thursday evenings, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m., this is what I do. 1 hour, twice a week, before anything else gets in the way. That is 2 hours a week, 8 hours a month. It is enough to pitch clients, build a product, set up a listing, make real progress. The second income does not get built in the inspired moments. It gets built in the Tuesday 8 p.m. moments when you genuinely do not want to be there, but you decided in advance that you would be. And when it starts working, when the first payment arrives from something that was not your salary, something changes, not just in your bank account. Before you close this video and tell yourself you will think about it, here is the only framework you need. Pick one skill you already have. Pick one person or type of person who would pay for it. Pick one place to offer it. Upwork, Fiverr, a local Facebook group, a direct message to someone you know. Spend 5 hours a week on it for 30 days. Measure whether anyone responds. That is it. Not a business plan, not a brand, not a website, just, does anyone want this from you? In 30 days you will know. And if the answer is no, you try something slightly different. If the answer is yes, you have the beginning of something real. The first month you earn something outside of your job, even if it is $80, even if it is $150, it does not feel like extra money. It feels like proof. Proof that your income is not entirely in someone else's hands. That your financial life does not live or die based on one company's quarterly results or one manager's performance review. That there is something else, small, early, not yet reliable, but there. That feeling is worth more than the $80. 44% of people working full-time say they need more than one income just to cover basic expenses. Most of them know it. Most of them have thought about starting something. Most of them have not started yet. Not because they are lazy, not because they lack ideas, because the gap between knowing you need a second income and actually building one is filled with exhaustion, uncertainty, and a very convincing voice that says this is not the right time. It is almost never the right time. The people who built something started anyway, with 5 hours a week, with one skill, with one client, with $80 the first month and the slow compounding work of showing up on Tuesday evenings. Your salary is what someone else decided your time is worth. The second income is what you decided is worth. That gap, between those two numbers, is where financial freedom actually starts.